Hello, Bill here, Pale Horse Survival and Tactical. Today we're going to make a bow drill kit out of privet, ligustrum. I just shot an identification video on ligustrum, and we'll be putting that up on the channel this evening along with this video. I've never used ligustrum for primitive fire making purposes, so this will be a first. It seems like it's a good wood. It's nice and relatively soft. Should work out okay. This is some wood that I harvested, I think it was last year, and I had to cut some of these down, and so I grabbed a little bit. This one kind of splintered, but I think we can make use it to make a hearth board out of, and this should make a pretty good spindle. The ligustrum is it's an invasive species, and it has a tendency to grow straight up in an attempt to outgrow all the other plants around it and choke them out. It's very competitive. So as a result, you get a lot of very straight pieces, which is very advantageous for primitive fire making. So let's go ahead and jump in. This wood's nice and dry in season, so we'll go ahead and get started. See if we can get a hearth board split out of this piece here. Get that piece off there. And we got a pretty good split in this. See if we can even it out a little bit. I usually make my hearth boards about a 1/2 inch in thickness. Some people prefer thicker ones, and whatever works for you, by all means do it that way. I just seem to have a lot more success with 1/2 inch pieces. That's not too bad. We'll go ahead and clean it up. I like to chop and to clean things up. Just a lot faster that way. I'm usually not one to dilly-dally with things very long. Just get into it and knock it out fast. I think we'll use that as our bottom. See how this thing sits. Sometimes woods tend to twist a bit. Seems like pretty soft wood. It's carving nicely. That's probably not too bad. Let's clean this up here. Yeah, privet grows quite a few of the states, all the way up into Canada. I understand it's quite an invasive species in the southern states. Let's see here. I'm going to take it down a little bit more. Clean this edge up a little bit here. Yeah, ligustrum was brought here to the United States in the, I believe it was the 1800s, and just became an introduced invasive species. Once the stuff gets established, I mean, it's really hard to get rid of. All parts of ligustrum are toxic to humans. It does set purple berries, which the birds eat, but the only benefit it'll have for us is as a fire-making resource. Well, we can probably give this a shot. It's not sitting as well as I would like, but, well, on the ground it does better. I don't think my stump is crooked. Okay, so we'll go ahead and see if we can fashion this guy into a spindle. Kind of long, but it should work okay. I like the skinnier spindles myself. Get over here and give you guys a first-person perspective. So what I'm going to do is I'll begin by removing the bark. I usually don't like to leave the bark on because on bow drill spindles, because it tends to be abrasive to the string. And since this guy's thin, I'm not going to take anything off, but just graze the outer bark off. Just to smooth it out so we're not wearing down the bow drill string. Kind of like peeling a potato. Just get the worst of it off. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just minimize that abrasion on the string, which also is very important if you're using natural cordage. Alright, so that's a pretty straight piece. Ligustrum, they send up stalks and stems that are really straight. So we don't have any knots on this that I can really see, so it doesn't really matter which is top or bottom. So looking at this, I think we'll make this our bottom here. So we'll flip it around. This will be the top for the bearing block. Switched over to my little folder here I use for the finer work. I've had this little folder for some time. Got it at the flea market. Guy had a box of stuff there, and I think I paid, here's $3 or $4 for it. It's a little frost, nothing special, it's just a frost cutlery. But it does hold an edge nice and gets nice and sharp. I can shave the hair off my arm with it. And I've used it to make many different projects. So far, still going strong. So we'll bring the top of the spindle into a point for the bearing block. Switch this around. And we're just going to blunt this end off. In bushcrafting, it's always a good idea to use materials that are pretty much the size that you need. That way you minimize the amount of calories that you're going to burn constructing your kit. Do some push cuts here. In other words, we had a really thick piece for a spindle, and it took a lot of carving to get it. See, we're already done. Already done, ready to go. If it took a lot of carving to machine that piece down, it's going to result in a lot more calories being burned, and conservation of calories is very important in that type of situation. So this being, let me swing the screen around here so I can see what I'm doing here. This being a great size, and I like skinnier spindles over fat. The thicker spindles, simply because you get higher RPMs out of the thinner spindles, which usually heats it up a little bit faster, and results in less effort being put into getting coal, and results usually, not always, but a coal being produced quicker. So I'm going to go ahead and clean the bark off this edge here of our fireboard. Got some splits in this stuff. I hope this fireboard's going to work. We will soon see. I'll give it a valiant effort, if nothing else. Alright. Get a pilot hole started in here. I usually tilt my knife down so I can catch it on that edge to dish it out. This is designed to keep your spindle from wandering as you're burning in the hole initially before the notch is cut. I think we're good to go there. I'm going to go ahead and pause you guys and reposition the camera, and I will be right back. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back. I got the camera repositioned here, and right now I'm just throwing together a little tender bundle. This is just standard jute cordage. Just separating the fibers. And I'm using the jute for demonstration purposes. There's plenty of natural tenders around, but this is what I have in my kit, so this is what we're going to use. So I just pull it apart, just fluff it up a bit. And then we're going to get this hole burned in, and hopefully we'll have a coal. A little worried about the hearth board. It's got a lot of splits in it. I think the wood dried out. It's been very hot, and I believe the wood dried out a little too fast. And when wood dries too fast, it tends to split. It's just like if you're making a log cabin. Once you debark your logs, and you're going to leave them sit out in season, you want to slap mud over the end. That slows the drying process and really helps with the splitting problem. That's an old method of taking care of that problem. You can do that on a small scale with anything that you cut, smaller pieces, and just put a little mud over each end. It'll help the wood dry a lot slower. Okay, so we got a tender bundle here. Let's see what we can do. Screen around here, flip it around, make sure you guys are in frame. There we go. I always put my bow in. You want your spindle on the outside, right on the outside of your string, so I just take the top, bring it in, and loop it just like that, and that puts your spindle on the outside. Spindles ride a lot better that way. Alright, so what we're doing here is we're just going to burn the hole in and then cut our notch. Find a spot where it's going to sit relatively level here. Ground's a bit uneven here. Make sure you guys are in frame there. But this ground's not the best for this. Let's see what this smells up here. See how quickly this heats up and how well it smokes. It's a good indicator. Oh, got a little smoke already. That's a good sign. That spindle sure runs smooth. Feels nice. No weird vibration or anything through here. Really smooth. Well, that was a good sign, good initial test. And one good habit to have is always take your spindle. They have a tendency to pick up moisture from the ground, so it's always a good habit. I mean, it's dry out here and everything. It's summertime and hot, but always take your spindle and prop the business end up on something to keep it up off the ground. So we'll go ahead and we'll cut our notch in here. V this guy out. I could do it on my stump here, but I don't want to reposition the camera, so we'll just go ahead and do it this way. Alright, clean this notch out. Come around here and show you guys what I'm doing. Turn the screen back around here so I can see what I'm doing. Pop that out of there. I actually went in a little further than should have. Should go about halfway, but I think we're okay. We'll just clean this out in here. What a nice clean notch. So there's nothing in there to stop the char from accumulating in here. That looks pretty clean. And that notch is too far. It should be about, well, a third of the way, no more than half, so that did go too far. But again, I think we can still make it work. Down here at the bottom, we're going to flare these. I'm going to flare this open just a bit. This helps the coal to breathe. Gives it just a little bit more air at the bottom. Just opens it up so it's not cramped. Just be careful when you're doing this. Just have good control of your knife. Use some good push cuts. Choke up on it. Push in. And there you go. See how it's flared open? We should still be able to make that work. But that notch is too far. Turn the screen around here again so I can make sure you guys are in frame. See what I'm doing. Okay, in a good level spot here so this thing isn't gonna move on us. This ground's really uneven here. Seems like a pretty good spot. You guys are in frame. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay, we'll use a leaf, some mulberry leaf. Use a leaf as the welcome mat. That should work okay. This ground's really uneven here. And we'll see what kind of damage we can do here. Hearth board isn't exactly the best. Slightly twisted, it's got a lot of splits in it, but we're going to see if we can make it work. It's always good to practice and have a few unexpected challenges thrown in there. Push the skill levels a bit, you know. Start out nice and slow, good even strokes. Just take your time, let the notch fill. Just have your eyes on the notch. If you start sawing away real fast in the beginning and that notch isn't full, there's going to be nothing there to ignite. Getting decent smoke already. The notch is filling up. A little more downward pressure. Good smoke. Feeling pretty confident here. Yeah, we got a coal, guys. Oh, hurt my finger. Yeah, privet's a really good wood. That was really easy to get. And that was a really good running spindle. It was so smooth. There's no vibration. Nice coal, good char. Really happy, very impressed with privet. First time I've ever used it. Used a lot of woods, not privet. Here we're going to dump this guy into the bundle. Fold it up over. There it is, we have fire. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I did making it, and I've got one more I'm going to shoot here. I'm going to make a bushcraft multi-tool. This will be fun. Definitely appreciate your viewership, and please like, subscribe, and share. Appreciate your support, and I will see you very soon on the next one. Everybody have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.